and 5 grand profit for this one house and you invested just 10 grand. How much time do you spend having to manage?
Probably a couple hours a week.
How long did it take and start getting bookings?
And I put it to market, we got a booking straight away.
What is the best way to invest £10,000 in property? Well, right now I'm standing in Birmingham and this property was secured for just £10,000. Now, when I say secured, this is not owned by me, it's not owned by one of my students. It was secured on a rent-to-rent basis. Let me explain the process, and this, in my opinion, is the best and fastest way to get into property and to become financially free, starting with just 10 grand. Let's go. Danny, how are you doing?
How you doing, Sam? Good.
So this is it, this is the property. So you invested about 10 grand to get this. What was the agreement with the landlord?
So we used to pay a month's rent up front, the deposit later on down the line at some point, and we had a month's grace period.
Let's have a look, man. I want to know the figures. How much money are you collecting from bookings for this house?
On a 90% occupancy, we can be collecting over 8k.
Over 8 grand.
Yeah. Obviously, we're paying for the rent, we have to do any maintenance, we have to do a lot of supplies, because as you can imagine.
So what's your profit?
About between 4 and 5 grand.
4 and 5 grand profit?
Yeah.
For this one house?
Yeah.
And you invested just 10 grand?
Yeah.
That's solid, isn't it? So when you took this on then, what was the condition?
It was fully refurbed. It just had no furniture. All the walls were plain.
So the majority of your 10 grand investment was the furniture,
Yeah.
painting it,
Yeah.
making it pop. How did you find it?
Callum, my JV partner, he was coming along with certain properties, and then he brought this one to my attention. It was a bit of a jump for me to go from a 1-bedroom apartment to a 7-bed house.
Yeah.
But it gets to a point where you've just got to just go for it.
So how long did it take before you could then put it to market and start getting bookings?
We started to work on it and I put it to market straight away. I wasn't really expecting to get a booking, but then we got a booking straight away. So now it's all hands on deck. We've got like 7 days, I think it was 7 days to get it ready. So I got some other people on board to help me do it, and I was working through the night. They must have finished like 3, 4 in the morning, and it was going out the next day.
How much was that first booking?
I think it was about just over 3k.
And how long were they staying for?
I think it was about 2 weeks. They also come back about 4 months later for 3 months.
Did they?
Yeah.
How much do you charge for people to come and stay here?
You could probably end up paying 245, but then again, it could end up costing you £1,900 for 2 days.
Depending on how many people?
Yeah.
So talk to me about who's staying here.
Well, we use the platforms, the short stay platforms like Airbnb, Booking.com. We use Verbo. We do have some direct inquiries as well. We have a lot of repeat customers, because what you'll find in Birmingham, there's not really a lot of properties that can take large groups, and what I find with hosts, they don't like to have large groups in their properties. But when I see a large group, I love it.
How do you vet the guests and ensure that you haven't got those issues?
We have a minute system as well, which tells us if there's like loud noises, if there's smoking in the rooms.
Is that machine here?
Yeah.
Can you show us?
So what this will do, it picks up the sound, the decibels.
Right.
So it doesn't actually record any conversations.
So if I'm being really loud now, or there's loud music, then these green things will be higher.
Yeah.
And you can see it on your phone.
Yeah. But what it is, if you just make the one-off noise, it's not really going to pick it up. So it has to be like an excessive, I can't remember if it's 10 seconds or 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So then it'll tick it as a continuous, there's a problem happening.
What are the things you have on there?
So crowd detection is here.
So basically, if you get a booking for 3 people,
Yeah.
you might expect to see 4 or 5 devices.
Yeah.
If you see 15 devices and they've got a booking for 3 people, you know they're having a pie. As a social experiment, I started again from scratch and became financially free in 7 days. I published a book exactly how I did it, and you can get this book for free. Link in bio, get it to your house. How long is the agreement over with the landlord?
5 years.
I think it's one of the great things about rent to rent, because people
Yeah.
say the problem with rent to rent is that, yes, you can make a load of cash flow, but you're not owning anything. But if you're dealing with landlords and you're renting it off them, there's a lot of landlords. If you say, look, let's get it valued, let's say it's valued at, I don't know, what would this be worth? 350 grand?
I think it's about 350 to 4.
Right, all right, we'll give you 400 grand in 5 years.
Yeah.
And then every month, that 3, 4, 5 grand, put half of it aside.
Yeah.
And at the end of the 5 years, you got enough for the deposit. A lot of people would say, oh, I've only got 10 grand. If you've got 10 grand, you can get something like this. And then you can recycle the money, invest the profits and buy something else.
Oh, just another booking again.
Oh, show us, show us.
3 nights, 1,119.
Damn,
8
while
guests.
we were here, 8 guests, 3 nights, 1,119.
Yeah.
So 3 nights, and that's half your rent paid.
Yep.
How much time for this property do you personally spend having to manage?
Not much, probably a couple hours a week. But this property is very hands-off.
Is the average booking for 2 nights, for 10? Like what would you say is an average?
Next week we've got a booking for 5 days.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get them for 2 weeks. We've had month bookings.
And I guess if you've got a long-term booking, if someone stays for a month, you're not having to pay cleaners £100 every time.
I know everybody likes to have long-term bookings, but I feel like sometimes if it's too long, you're not really making the money. Because once a long-term booking, everybody else's work just dies down.
Right.
No cleaners, no
So
laundry.
what's the sweet spot for you? Like sort of 5, 6 nights?
Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Stay with me now for the next year, Monday to Friday, and let me have the weekends.
So there we have it. I hope you learned a lot, and Danny, you were really generous with your knowledge. How important do you think it is to do it properly, to get the right training and to make sure that you've got the right systems and automation?
I think you've definitely got to get the right knowledge and the right training, because the landscape of the Airbnb and short-term let is always changing.
If you want to do the same thing that Danny's done, and you want to get started in property without using loads of money, tickets to spend a day with me are how much?
£1.
Is that not a joke? Is that not crazy?
Crazy.
Come and spend a day with me. I'll leave a link in the description. £1 ticket, selling out fast. I'll see you there.